Hey, what's up, lovely people? Welcome to Conversations on Wholeness by Hadassah. And today I'd like us to talk about pain. Let's talk about pain. So, story time. For the first time in my life, I missed a flight. Honestly, I can't blame myself. Circumstances, it's just like how you'd have a bad day. But as a believer, I believe that all things work together for good. So I missed my flight. And immediately, my heart was so overwhelmed. My heart was heavy. So I speak to Jesus and I tell the Lord, have your way. Please make a way for me, because I had such an important meeting to attend to. So the first person I talked to was Jesus. I just whispered to him and I told him, God, I feel hurt. I feel so terrible, but make a way for me. Cool. And I remember I told the Lord, give me a strategy, tell me what I need to do for me to make it to my meeting. But I then centered myself and I told him, I want your way to be done. If it's your way for me to attend this meeting, you're gonna make a way for me, but I don't want to force something that is not in your plan. That was it. God dropped in my spirit somebody's contact whom I called, and then when I called him, he was able to give me to first of all empathize with me. I was like, I've been in that situation, so don't worry. Gave me somebody's number who absolutely was helpful to me. And then after that, now I'm waiting to be assisted. After I had made that phone call, I started walking. Now you're still in denial. You're still at the check-in. You're hoping they're gonna call you and tell you, okay, there's a slot, your plane has delayed. But no, it wasn't happening. So I decided now to leave the airport to at least go grab something. It was early in the morning, grab something and calm myself down. I did go somewhere at a shop, a mini mart, to grab a drink within the airport. So I grabbed a drink and then I sat there. There was a sort of a lounge in that shop. So I sat there, then I started making calls. The first person I called my best friend. So my best friend is those kind of guys. He's gonna first laugh. So he laughed. We laughed it out. Yeah? We laughed it out, and then he told me, don't worry, all things work together for good. It's working for you. It's working in your favor. Then I hung up. I called a lady I would consider to be such a powerhouse. She's my leader. I called her and I had told her the previous day that I was traveling because we were supposed to have a meeting. And so I needed to excuse myself from the meeting. I told her, guess what? Where I was going, I've missed my flight. And then after the conversation, I asked her, would you mind praying for me or praying with me? And she said, no, I don't mind. She made a very powerful prayer and she said, God, you always make a way for her. We finished, and then the third person I called was my sister. I called my baby sister, and all this one was for me to genuinely and openly just let her know how I felt. So I was telling her, guess what? I missed my flight. And then she was there empathizing with me. She was like, oh yeah, so what I do? The Gen Zs, she didn't have like a solution. She was like, so what I do? Anyway, those are the people that I talked to. I talked to Jesus. The Lord gave me somebody's contact, talk to that person, explain to them. They gave me a contact who was somewhat helpful. Then I talked to my best friend, talked to my mentor, and then I talked to my baby sister. But something else happened. Immediately after I was off the call with my sister, I turned to the shop attendant who was serving me and I started telling him, I've missed my flight. And I have never seen a nonchalant, unbothered, not concerned gentleman. He was on his phone and I'm there, I'm like, imagine. And he wasn't moved a single bit. So anyway, I learned a lesson from that moment. I realized like pain dilutes discernment. You end up sharing with people just because they are in close proximity, things that you would not ordinarily share with them. You start opening up about sensitive information that you would not open up ordinarily. You start talking to people that you wouldn't talk if you're not in pain. And I sort of realized like sometimes pain can make us just turn to people who are not even safe. And I asked myself, so when you're in pain, exactly what are you supposed to do? The moment you realize that you're in pain, you need to look for the right people and people who are safe for you. I felt even if this man was unbothered, I had talked to people who were safe, people who were already on the ground trying to support me, trying to help me find a way out. They were safe. They handled my pain in such a way that it wasn't extrapolated, it wasn't compounded into something else, because that is what happens whenever we find ourselves with sharing sensitive information with people who are not safe. What we end up doing is that we are telling people information that they might not be able to manage or handle, and they might end up exposing us to more pain, so that now we are not dealing with just the pain that we presented them with, but we are dealing with the pain that they have already caused. And I know, especially when somebody is going through a hard time, when you're grieving, when you're going through something, you can easily find yourself oversharing with people who are not safe for you. But let me tell you, baby, when you find yourself in that situation, because pain is inevitable, look for safe people who are going to handle sensitive information, who are going to be your pain partners, who will work with you in such a way that you're going to heal, and the process will be so smooth that it will not resort to other things eventually. So how did it end up? How did it turn out eventually? God made a way. He made a way when my back was against the wall and it looked as if it was over. He made a way, and I'm standing here only because he made a way. He made a way. I got into my meeting on time. Listen, he was not just a safe space for me to share with, but he was also a way maker. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye bye.